Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, 5150. I am your host. Today, I have a great guest, which I met through social media, through our technology. Melissa Wing, if you'd like to say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Wing, and I work with Thryv Software.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, Melissa and I met on social media through Facebook, Citrus Club, business or member page. I can't remember which one, but we were in the middle of this pandemic in the beginning phase, and she was reaching out to people if they wanted to talk about business, and I utilized the same page, but I never get much responses on that page. And so I was like, you know what? We're in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic. She's reaching out. I said, I'm going to reach out to her. So I hit her up. I hit you up. And that's how we started this communication relationship, which I think is something great right now, is just developing new friendships, new communications, especially in the same town, but with social media now we can be worldwide. So if you want to give a little just history about yourself, what you've done, you could go from college to business, whatever. I know I was looking at your track record on LinkedIn, so just give us a little play-by-play about yourself.
Okay, I'll start with Thryv and work backwards. I've been with Thryv for over 7 years. I love the company because it helps local businesses. I'm very passionate about that because I have a family that has always ran their own businesses. I've owned my own businesses, and the tools that we have as a company really can help you excel and just take your business to that next level. And knowing how I'm helping those local businesses when I'm so passionate about it myself is so important. Right now, I take all the money from my day job and I do property management, but only for company or for the properties that I've bought personally. So I'm able to fund my property management retirement fund through Thryv, which is fantastic that I am able to do that. And then before that, I've owned several businesses over the years. They're all in different industries. I've owned a decorative concrete business where we would stain and engrave your existing concrete. I've owned a paintball field in Miami, which I had for over 7 years before the downfall in 97. I also sold books, used books on Amazon just to help my mother-in-law get over. She would pick up 5 books at a time to read, and they were starting to pile up, and it's obviously a big expense. So I started that just to help her, and we ended up turning it into a business, and we're shipping off 20 books a day. So just all kinds of different businesses. I've obviously worked for my family's businesses as well, which is the home improvements and pest control. So I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different industries. And through Thryv, I'm able to learn even more about other industries. I think I've basically helped business owners in any industry you could think of at this point.
Interesting. When I was definitely reading your resume, and I saw the books, what you were talking about there, and that was something I was looking into. I've been a big book collector for a while, but after a while, I started getting all these books. I mean, I even got encyclopedias. My mom gave me an Encyclopedia Britannica like a couple years ago that I have sitting there, which is like leather bound, gold lace. But I was actually thinking about getting into the book selling. Reason being is because books, there's such a hot commodity.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that books are coming back. Everything went digital. But me, myself, and I know a lot of people don't like looking at screens for reading.
I want to pick up a book.
Yes. And it does something for me, like with my eyes. If I'm reading a screen or if I have a book, I'm always going to the book first. Something about it. I'm not sure what it is. I don't like looking at screens too long when I'm reading. So I think it's something that attracts me towards the book. So I know there's a market for people who prefer books.
And if you're buying bestsellers, those are the easiest ones to turn around and sell. You might not make back everything that you put into it, but if you get 75% back, then that gives you the money to buy the next book. And honestly, like I said, that's how it started, but it turned into something a lot bigger. I know that there's a digital book online that you can buy on how to sell used books online. And literally all I did was download that book. I read it in one day because I was excited. And then I bought the equipment I needed the next day and we got started. And we would sometimes pick up books for 50 cents to $1 at some of the Goodwills. But we had a scanner with us, so we knew how much it was worth. So we'd pick up a book for 50 cents and sell it for $75.
Wow.
Because you can find, not all colleges take back all textbooks, but just because one isn't doesn't mean another one isn't. And a lot of college students will look for used books online. So we always kept an eye out for those kinds of books that they couldn't return themselves, but we were able to take and make a huge profit on.
Wow, you know, you're giving me ideas, because when I started collecting books, I actually went to Salvation Army here, and then I went to the other side, which was like the drop station where everything is like a mess.
Yeah, that's the best place to go to get the good ones. But we would do the same thing, and we both had scanners, me and my mother-in-law, and we would each just scan books nonstop. And it even gives you a rating, so you know how long it's going to take to sell the book, which is kind of cool, based on Amazon. So we would scan away. There you buy the books by bulk, so it's by weight, and you can really get a good deal. Get books for less than 20 cents each and turn around and make $100 off of it, because they get such an influx of books, they just want to get rid of them.
Wow, you know, I think you're going to put some fire on my behind, because this is something I've been talking since the pandemic hit. I've been looking at different side hustles, and I always look at my bookshelf and I'm like, you know, I know there's a market for this, because I was the one that was going to the bookstores buying the $20, $30 books. When I really got into books, if I liked a book, I was headed straight to Barnes and Nobles and I would buy it off the shelf. I wouldn't order it because I wanted it so bad that I would get it off the shelf. So I know I'm not the only one, obviously.
No. And those books, like I said, because I do the same thing. I want a new book in my hand. I don't want something that's been written on or dog tagged or anything. So I would always buy my new books, but then I could sell two and make back what I used to buy that first book. And like I said, there's those treasures out there where you're getting over $100 for a book that you paid maybe 50 cents for, and that really starts adding up.
Wow, I'm glad we had this conversation, because actually, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I collect records. That's I'm
there.
So I'm gonna start. Once again, I go to the thrift stores and I find records for like 5 cents each.
Yes.
I keep them, but I'm getting to the point where I have friends that own record stores. One here in Orlando called Tony's Donut Shop. It's downtown. Vintage records and all types of stuff. And then I have a friend that moved to Miami. He has one there in Wynwood called 1-800-Luckies. I might be messing up the name on there. Yeah, 1-800-Luckies, that's the spot. And they get these records and they buy them for, I don't know how much, but they put them back on the shelves for like $40, $50, $60, $70, $80. And I'm looking at the prices. I'm like, I've seen this same one at the thrift store for 5 cents.
The record sales are going up like crazy right now. People like the sound of records. I mean, it's a pure sound, absolutely. And they're like, even if you go to Target or Walmart, you see record players now. So they're trying to bring that back. And that's why you can go get them for cheap. And that's another way you can do Amazon reselling for sure.
We got my brain thinking. Okay, so we are for anyone that's watching this, whether it's now in the future, we're in the middle of the coronavirus. We're in a pandemic where our worldwide economy was shut down. We started getting back a little. We had a little phase 1 doors opening, and then now we are closing again. In a sense, we have these protests that are going on around the nation and starting to spread around the world. So now we're seeing a lot of different effects on life, on business, because we had the doors slowly opening, but now it looks like some of the doors, especially probably on maybe, I could be messing it up, but restaurants or certain stuff, they might be having to close the doors slowly again because of what's going on. So we are definitely in a challenging time economically. We're in a challenging time. I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you do, business owners, people that want to get into a business, especially your platform. When I saw the software, when you first showed it to me, I mean, I love it because I look for stuff to streamline, to help me work more efficiently. And what I saw through your platform, I was like, wow, like this stuff, especially being the quote, like a solopreneur in my sense, where I can put paperwork and give them to someone, say, hey, take care of this. When I had to take care of everything myself, it really looked like it helped streamline and organize my brain, my desk, and everything. So I was very impressed with that platform. I love stuff like that. So we're in this world of business. What do you see going on as far as these phases opening up? Because we had phase one open. Did you have any experience direct with any of your friends and business owners? What have you been seeing as far as economically as doors starting to open?
I think they're starting to open cautiously. There's a lot of business owners that just couldn't wait to get open. Restaurants are still suffering because 50% occupancy is not paying their bills. So a lot of them are still struggling. Not all restaurants were able to convert really quickly to dine out only. So they had some struggles there and just decided to close down. And now they're having a really hard time trying to reopen. Our service-based businesses, like your contractors of all types, they're busier than ever because more people are at home and they're looking at something that they knew needed to be fixed 5 months ago. And so they're finally calling and getting those things fixed. The pool guys haven't suffered. The lawn guys haven't suffered. The doctors and dentists, they were closed down for quite a while. And now the guidelines for them to open, it's really making it hard for them to see enough patients in one day for them to make things work. But they're trying and they're working hard at it. Everyone seems really thoughtful and wanting to help each other for the most part. But there are a lot of businesses out there. I have 2 clients right now that do event planning. They're just throwing their hands up in the air and they don't know what to do because people are afraid to book events right now for fear that they're going to cancel later. So the events they are planning are already in next year, and everything that was scheduled for this year has either gotten canceled or postponed. So that industry is really suffering right now. But for the most part, if it's a service-based business where they don't have to really be in front of a client, those businesses are doing fine. It's the face-to-face businesses that are having a problem. Soon I'd like to talk about what they can do, because right now you really have to shift because of the social distancing guidelines. You need to do more online. You need to offer online appointments. You need to offer, you need to put a COVID message on your website and on your social media saying, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I am open. This is our guidelines. You need to do online payments. You need to do more virtual appointments, especially for the doctors, the counselors. We just had a story this morning about a hairstylist who was allowing you to go and pick up the hair dye, and then she would do a virtual session for you to do your hair yourself, which is really different. I mean, that's pretty creative for her to be able to stay in business. So you have to think out of the box right now, and you have to know that right now your website is your storefront, and that's where everyone's going to decide if they want to do business with you. And you have to have those social distancing things in place so people know it's easy to do business. And Zoom meetings. Yes. Zoom should be your best friend. If you can have your appointments through Zoom, do so. It just makes everyone more comfortable. If you have to meet in person, please have a mask on. Even if your clients aren't required to wear a mask, you should wear a mask. And if you have seating in your waiting room, take out some of the seats. Make sure that they're spread out. Put tape lines on the floor. Everything that you can do to show them that you're taking this seriously.
And I love it. I love it. And this is why I don't structure my conversation so much, because you took it to exactly where my brain was thinking. Because I think in certain energies and thinking and talking create conversations and ideas. My thing I wanted to ask you is how important, because I'm in an industry, as you see behind me, I'm a DJ. I work in events, and that's a hands-on thing. I'm going out with crowds of people interacting. How important right now, because I noticed, and when the doors shut and the economy stopped, I had to take a look back at my streams of income and understand I'm not so much into the tech world as I should be. So this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for me because my downtime stopped and I had all this time on my hands, but I kept going. And what I started doing, which is like when my first conversation was you, which was a great eye opener for me, I was like, I got to get better at tech. I have to learn this stuff. I got to get in there. So I went straight, I dove in, started looking at web, HTML, just looking at different stuff to see what interests me. And so I've been playing around with tech this whole time, getting better, understanding even my own computer, understanding everything inside of my computer. You know, my Mac laptop, I've learned so much in the past 3 weeks about my Mac laptop that I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
And so how important right now do you think it is to get on top of tech?
It's going to be the way people do business now. Social distancing, I hope everyone's aware. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to have to deal with this for a long time. We may have to deal with this for years, up and down, depending on the time of year it is. So yes, update your website right now. You've been wanting to do it for years. You've had it on your to-do list. It's at the bottom. If you have time right now, update your website, update your CRM. Not everyone knows what a CRM, but it is a digital record of your clients. Right now, you should be doing email campaigns, text messaging campaigns, social media. Typically, I say update it 3 times a week, but since so many people are in front of their computers right now, do it 5 times a week. And not just on Facebook, but Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Posts. Get out there. Make sure they know your message. Make sure that you're posting stuff not just about you and that you're running the special, but helpful hints so people want to share your information. There's a lot of things that you can do right now on your own to get better at this digital world. Like I mentioned, put icons on your website for appointment scheduling. I know not everyone wants people to just schedule appointments with them, but guess what? They're virtual. So you can decide the times of day that you want to do this, but having that option on there, you're going to get more appointments. And then if you do that, make sure on your social media, on your website, everywhere that you are putting out your message, that you're telling them, hey, we're now taking online appointments. You can now pay by using this app. Anything that you do, spread it out, send out email campaigns, put it on social media. When I say right now is the time to connect with your clients, once you think you've over communicated, do it more, because you have to get your message out there. You have to be a little bit more aggressive than ever before, but at the same time, sending the message that you're here to help them, not just take their money.
Right. You know, I definitely, I see that. A lot of my inner circle, people I deal with, I have a great friend who's a great realtor, and I have great friends that do other stuff. But I noticed during the pandemic, you don't want to be sold to in the middle of economic crash. You know, a lot of people's lives are being folded apart. And so I'm big on social media. So I'm looking at Instagram and I'm looking at different stuff, and I'm seeing people still pushing that salesy. And I'm like, these people, they just don't know that now's not the time to really do that. But then I have a realtor buddy, my buddy, we call him Downtown Paul Jimenez. He focuses on the downtown market, but he's
I met him.
Okay. That's one of my best friends. So he's the one that taught me when he was selling real estate, where we're doing it now. He said, I remember when we were just talking, and he was like, Dion, he's like, I don't sell real estate. And I'm like, what do you mean, Paul? He's like, I sell a lifestyle. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the buildings. We're like on the 13th floor overlooking the city. And I'm like, you're right, because property's property, walls are walls, cement is cement. But the people, his clients, are going to that downtown lifestyle. That's what I'm going for. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you're 100% correct. He had me focus a little more on my business. I'm not just selling you just this. I'm selling you a lifestyle, an energy, a movement. And so I really love that. And he just taught me, don't be so salesy. He's like, people are going to buy from you because they like you, number one. he's like, everyone's a realtor. That's what he told me. And I'm like, everyone in my circle, everyone's a DJ, everybody and their father's a DJ. So it really just brought me into the world of understanding the other person. And I mean, we got all this stuff going on. I don't need to be, I just see people pushing too hard in social media and in contacts on trying to sell during pandemics, during economic crashes. So I think it's great to educate people who might not know, hey, like you said, create an email list, send out some recipes, send out some self-healing ideas, send out a great movie maybe you watch this weekend, and you could suggest it maybe in your email campaign.
And the thing is if you're doing those things, if they want to buy from you, if now's the time for them, they're going to ask you. But just by, even if they want your service, if you're asking them to buy, they're less likely to buy right now. So let them come to you. And that's typically the worst thing you can say to a business owner, let them come to you, because that would not have been my message before March. But right now, that's just what you have to do. You stay in front of them. You make sure you're posting, you're sending out these email campaigns. You're sending out things that recent articles that you find helpful, anything like that. If you are in massage therapy, give them tips on how they can do massage themselves right now, oils that help for calming, just anything like that. But don't sell to them. They'll come to you. They will. But it has to be all about, I care about the community and I want to help right now. And if you do put that message out, the people will come. You just have to keep at it and keep doing it. Social media is not there for instant gratification by any means. It's kind of the long haul, wait and see. But if you're active on social media, if you're looking at your posts, if you're looking at your friends' posts, if you're commenting, if you're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn, you'll meet some really great people. And that's how I met Dion.
Yes, definitely. And when you're speaking that, you make me think over delivering. That's what came into my head when you're speaking about the massage therapists. And I really think over delivering, and it doesn't cost you any extra thing to send out an email, to send out a hello, how are you doing, checking up on your clients. It's something even myself during this pandemic, I'm like, all right, I need to reach out to people, just see how everybody's doing, whether it's clients, so that's what I've been doing, just giving how are you doing? Everything okay? People maybe I haven't talked to in maybe even a decade.
I actually my most recent sale was someone I had not talked to in 6 years. And I didn't reach out to him, but he saw how consistent I was being on social media. He lived in Atlanta for a while, so he moved out of the area and he came back and he started his business, and all he kept seeing online was me. And so he reached out to me. He was like, hey, Melissa, it's been 5 years, 6 years, but here I am and I'm ready to go. So, and I've gotten a couple of clients that way, like that recently, because I'm just consistent. Consistency is key. And along with over delivering is under promising. So if you think in my business, if you think that I can give you 10 clients, I'm going to tell you 7. Because guess what? If you get to 7, you're going to be happy. If you get to 10, you're going to be ecstatic. But what happens if you didn't get to that 10 and I promised it to you? So don't be afraid to under promise. It's a really volatile time in our history. No one knows what to expect. So whatever you think that you can give them, under promise. And then when you over deliver, you're going to have a client for life.
I love it. So focusing a little on your platform right now that you are on, what is it and what can it do for, is it just business? I guess it would be just in the business realm, correct?
It is just for the business realm, and our software makes it easier for local businesses to do everyday business. It does a lot, but think of it as a cell phone. So when you have your cell phone has 100 different things that it can do. And I'm underestimating there for sure. Well, you only use 5 or 10 maybe, but you're not going to throw away your cell phone because you're not using the whole 100 different apps. With Thryv, to start, we claim all of your online listings. That's super important. That includes your Google My Business pages, Yelp, Yahoo, Bing, all of the local listing sites, including Alexa. And then we make sure that you have a presence. And that's just the start. That happens right away as soon as you sign up. But then you can also do your estimates, invoicing, and collect payment on the app. You can do your appointment scheduling on the app. If you do, you get automated reminders the day before and the day of the appointment. So you have less missed appointments that way. You can do all of your social media, and that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google Posts, all on this platform. You can even respond to the posts on this platform. It also does reputation management. So any reviews you get from any site, instead of having to go to 10 different sites to see if you have reviews, you go to Thryv and you can see the reviews, you can respond to the reviews. You can also, we can do a website for you. If we do your website, it only takes 10 business days after we interview you. That is unheard of for most. And there's other features that I'm not even talking about right now. We're also a full service marketing firm. So we have full lead generation products that will also feed into your Thryv. And every little thing that we talked about that you can do with Thryv, that adds to your CRM. And then you can also do email and text messaging campaigns.
Okay, so if I was utilizing your services and I decided, all right, I want to jump into a marketing campaign, that's something I could go to you guys, say, hey, I'm interested in doing this, and you would build a marketing campaign to push out?
We'll build the marketing campaign, and then all of the leads funnel directly into your Thryv. So say you answered the phone, you're talking to them, whatever, they decide they're not interested right now. Well, we have their phone number, we have their name, we have their email if you ask for it, which obviously you would. And then you just nurture that lead for later. 90% of businesses, after they said no the first time, they never reach out to them again. They called you because they needed a DJ. Right. They may not have been ready for you right then, but that doesn't mean in 6 months they're not going to be ready for you. So by putting all of your leads and funneling them all into your CRM, you get to keep in contact with them. You send out the email campaigns, and the next time they have something going on, they're going to say, oh yeah, use Dion, because you're always around. They keep hearing your name, and whether they've done business with you before in the past, they're still going to use you because you're the one name that they keep hearing over and over, even if it's just in an email campaign.
Very interesting. Something I was dealing with the other day, I bought a brand new whiteboard because my old one got a little messed up. So I got a new one, and I was having a discussion with some of my friends, and we came to the conclusion, which we already knew, because usually you already know, everyone knows what to do. And when I almost, in a certain sense, we came to the conclusion, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
You know, and it really hit us like a ton of bricks, because we were just strategizing some ideas at a table with a couple literally cocktail glasses and a napkin, and my friend put a cocktail glass on the table, and then we balled up a napkin and we put it behind the glass. And he said, can you see the napkin? And I said, yeah, I can see it. And he's like, come up above now. He made me get above the glass, and he's like, can you see the napkin better now? And I was like, yeah. And that's one of the reasons we got the whiteboard, just to get everything out of the head onto the whiteboard. And then right on top, he's like, put out of sight, out of mind, which is what you're making me think of. If you're not there, literally.
All the time and everywhere they go, you want them to see your face. And that's what our lead programs do as well, is we have retargeting. So if they went to your website, every site they go to after that, they're going to see your face. When they go to social media, they're going to see your face. If they go into another search for DJs, they're going to see you. And we follow them around for several months. So it gives them time to make the decision. And they don't know why they chose you, but subliminally, it was because they kept seeing your name. And when it came time to make a decision, they're going to say, oh, yeah, Dion, I've heard good things about him.
Well,
we just followed you around. That's what happened.
Right. Now you make me think, because looking at your software when you're showing me all the stuff, I was like, wow, like this stuff is amazing. Just all the different ins and outs of swimming through the software. What are some of the results you've seen of someone that not only got the software, but learned to master the software? Because you can get a software, you can get something and you can have it sit there and you can play with it every now and then. But like what I'm doing with tech right now, or you can dive into it and really like the level that you understand it, like overstand the software. What have you seen people who've taken it to that level where they really?
Well, first of all, another thing that makes Thryv different is we almost force you to dive in. So we do charge a small setup fee. It's $250, but we give it back to you after you've logged in 14 times in 1 month. So we're making you log in there. As soon as we take your order, we set up an appointment for your first training. And on the first training, we set everything up for you, make sure that your online listings are set up where we push you out to 60 plus sites. And then after that, we set up the next appointment and you tell us what you want to focus on. If you don't care about billing because you're already using something else, that's fine. We'll start on doing appointment scheduling. And every time you get off the phone with us, we set up the next appointment. So we make you dive in and we do these appointments. We try to do them once a week. Sometimes if you're really ready, we'll do them 3 times a week. We want to train you. And then in the middle of the night, you decide you were trained last week on how to do email campaigns and you're ready to do it. It's 10 o'clock at night, you get started and you get stuck. Guess what? You can call someone from Thryv and a live person's going to answer the phone. They're going to get on a Zoom meeting and they're going to walk you through how to finish that email campaign. So you're never alone with Thryv. With our website, unlimited updates. You can get a website update every single day. And you don't have to do it. You just send us a quick email and we do it within 24 hours. There's no company out there with a CRM platform that I know of that has the kind of hand-holding, we want you to understand and use our software that we do. And that's just part of our service and that's part of what makes us different. And I'd say the other thing that makes us different is when you think of all these aspects of your business all in one, in your mind, you're adding up, okay, well, this has to cost this and this has to cost this. No, it is a local business price. It's affordable. It's only a 6-month contract. And then after that, it's month to month. And the reason we even do the 6-month contract is because we want you to give us a fair chance. It takes about that long for you to learn everything and really master it, just like with any software. But after that, if you're not happy, we try to make it right. And if we can't make it right, then we split as friends, always.
Okay. So what are the possibilities of someone who's not using anything like this, who's still on paper, who gets into it? What are the possibilities where they can go if they do master, like you being a business owner, talking with different businesses? What are the possibilities of going from no social media, everything's on paper, you're living still in that world? What's the possibilities of the pushing of the next level for your business?
Okay, I have 2 clients right now that I work with on a weekly basis. On top of Thryv support, I give personal support. So I help collaborate with them on ideas that they can use to use the software. They're both over 60.
Okay.
One was completely paper. The other one had very little understanding of how to make things work online. They are both, and forgive my language, but thriving. And it is so fun to see that they are mastering this kind of stuff. One of them is using Zoom. She actually teaches people with a heavy accent to get rid of that accent to help excel their business. So especially doctors that have a really heavy accent, it's hard for their patients to understand them. She can help them get rid of that. And I feel like in Florida, that's the best place she can be to be able to do that. And she never did online classes. She was afraid of Zoom. She's now using Zoom for online classes on a weekly basis. She's sending out email campaigns. Part of our service is if we do your website, we also do your Facebook and Twitter for free. So that's just added on. And so she's getting her social media done 3 times a week. We know what to write because we interview her and find out what's going on. If something new goes on, she tells us, we switch up the message. So she doesn't have to do that part. But then the other one that I have, she has a website that she uses with her company because that's what she has to do. But she's doing email campaigns on her own. Or we have an email posting plan that you can do. And we have over 500,000 pre-written posts by our social media team that you can use at any time. And to do that, you literally press a couple buttons and in 5 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating, you can all of your social media posts for the next 2 months.
Wow.
Now, if you want to throw us, like I say, do it 3 times a week at least. If you want to throw a sale in there every once in a while on top of that, you can do that straight from the calendar, and it'll be more impactful because you've been posting all those great information in between. And we make sure we're putting the right keywords in these messages so that Facebook allows it to be seen more often.
Wow. Another reason why I don't like to structure my conversations, because I just build off of what you're saying, which is something I've been dealing with. How important is it to be efficient on social media, on your tech? Because if I'm putting stuff on 4 different sites, I've told myself I've got to get in there and get out. I can't be wasting time. It can't take hours. I mean, how important is efficiency in this business world, dealing with software, social medias, email campaigns, in your eyes?
In every moment that you're spending doing that type of stuff, you're not in front of your next potential customer or client or patient. So it's extremely important. You can think of Thryv as your own marketing team because you always have me and you always have a Thryv support person that you can talk to in person at any time. So we're your 24-hour marketing support without you having to hire someone else. You do have to put some hours in, but it's a few hours for the month versus a few hours a day on your own. And that's the difference. For all 5 social media platforms, you can do 3 to 4 posts a week in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Typically, to do a posting plan for 2 months, it would take you several hours per platform to do it on your own. So just from that aspect alone, if you were trying to update all of your online listing sites, it could take weeks.
It's crazy.
We do it and we do that in 5 minutes. And if your information changes or you add another service or you want to update your photos, it takes seconds to do, and it is distributed out to those 60 plus platforms.
Wow.
So that's the kind of time that you can save. With the email campaigns, everything that you do funnels into Thryv. So you're going to already have people that you could then reach out to via email. Don't email people every day. It's annoying. Nobody wants that. But you can email them once a week or once every 2 weeks, the type of business that you have, and they're not going to delete you.
I think it's really good to get this information out and to, once again, whiteboard thinking, put it on the table. All right, I'm paying for a service. Your mind be like, all right, I don't want to pay for this service. It's money. Then if you look at another equation of time efficiency, streamlining, getting stuff down, utilize it, pushing that time over here, and then, all right, now I can use this time for this, like you said, being in front of the clients, out there with my warm contacts, my cold contacts, getting out there. That's one thing, especially for, I can see especially for solopreneurs, obviously, and smaller team unit businesses. And if you get bigger, then that's fine because you can have more people assist you in different processes of your business. But the time factor, the efficiency factor, it's like I've noticed getting into this tech world, like time is money. And
I have a great way to look at this, and I read it in a book, and now I do it every single year. Take your yearly salary and divide it down until you get to an hourly rate, especially if you're not just getting the same paycheck every week. Whatever that hourly rate is, when you sit down to do something, anything for your business, if you're sitting down to do your social media and it takes 2 hours, you take your hourly rate times 2, and then you decide if it's worth your time. And if it's not, get someone else to do it.
Wow.
Comparable to that. And I look at that for every part of my business now. I look at, okay, I know it's going to take me an hour to file. Is it worth the X amount of dollars that I'm going to lose while I'm filing? And that's how you grow your business. You can't do it on your own.
I totally agree with that. It's one thing I learned, you know, of course we're in this pandemic and things are getting challenged, but when I was in this phase of learning more about my time, I remember someone said, well, how long does it take you to mow your lawn, edge it, do all that?
Yes.
I was doing all that stuff myself. And he was like, well, how valuable is your time to you? And like, look at how much you get paid at work, this and that. And I started looking at different stuff. And I never saw any reason for like a housekeeper. But then my buddy got a housekeeper because he was single. He's out doing real estate and he's constantly in people's faces. He didn't have, well, he has the time, but that was costing him time to get his house. He would pay the city to clean his house. I'd go over there like, man, your house is looking great. He had a housekeeper and it worked. It worked. It made him more valuable to what he was doing.
Yeah, once you figure out your hourly rate and you put it on a sticky note where it's standing in front of you every day, every little thing that you do that you could be giving to someone else, if your hourly rate is more than what you would pay someone else to do it, someone else to do it, because that's going to make your business grow, because those extra hours that you were spending doing that thing, mowing your grass, that took you 2 hours. Those 2 hours you could be in front of someone and make that hourly rate even bigger for next year. And that's what we all want to do. As far as I'm concerned, every business owner wants to do better next year than they did the year before and make that hourly rate bigger. Well, there's only so many hours in the day. So you have to decide what you can give up to do the things that make you money.
I love it. Well, we got to end this here because my free Zoom is about to end. Tell everybody where they can find you. I'll definitely leave links.
Okay, I'm on LinkedIn, Melissa Wing on LinkedIn. On Facebook, I am under Melissa Wing, Thryv Business Advisor. That's my business page. And you can always call me at 305-798-4506. Our first meeting is going to be all about you, learning about your business, what you do, and then I can figure out if Thryv is the best fit for you, and we can go from there. But I can definitely give you some good advice along the way.
Beautiful, great information. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have you back because 40 minutes is 40 minutes, and I'd love to see you as you grow and your company grow, and we'll see what's next.
Thanks so much, Dion. And if you guys need a DJ, you know who to call.
You know. All right, you have a good day, okay? Enjoy out there.
Thanks, you too.
My pleasure.